You've all been asking about electric motors, so it's time we talk about it. As sailors, we are called to look to the horizon, to go further, to strive to find the untold stories and share them here with you. We've sailed across the infinite abyss with 5 kilometres of water below us. We've motored through raging torrents and narrow atoll passes, but exploring the shallow corners of these incredibly remote places has always been a challenge. But not anymore. We are in this tiny little speck of an atoll in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and on shore we can see a couple of abandoned shacks and some cool stuff that we want to go and check out. So we're going to head to shore, but instead of taking our dinghy, we're going to take our paddleboards, and we have to show you these because man, have we had an upgrade.
I mean, when have we ever been accused of being normal?
I know, right?
Yeah, we have to do it differently, and this is a little bit different.
And these are our brand new Sipper boards. They are seriously cool. If you remember our last paddle boards, we kind of had the cheapest ones we could find. We inflated them one day, and living in the tropics, they just could not cope and they exploded quite spectacularly. So this is a huge upgrade. However, you might notice that they have already got a hole in the middle.
And that is for this bit. This is what makes these boards so exciting. These boards inflate themselves, which sounds ridiculous, but this essentially connects up to the inflator hose connection at the back of the board, and then it is like a mini dive compressor. So it inflates the boards to the perfect pressure every single time, which means we won't explode them in the sun.
Whee!
Yeah! So you might think we're geeking out a bit too much about the fact they inflate themselves, but if you can remember when we got our old paddle boards, we used to race to inflate them with the manual pump, and whilst that was good exercise, it was also exhausting and meant we didn't paddle all that much. So what's been really nice since we got these guys is that they inflate themselves, so we use them that much more.
Yeah, surely the purpose of paddleboarding is to enjoy the activity when you're out on the water. I don't want to use up all my energy just inflating the board in the first place. All right, the air is in, the lid is back on, the fin is attached, so let's go! Well, I won't deny it is a long way to get here. It's 4,000 or 5,000 miles from any major landmass. But oh my goodness, this is like paddleboarding heaven. The watercolor, the beach, the palm trees, the corals, the peace and quiet. There is nothing better.
I mean, this place is absolutely stunning, but I think we're discovering just how hard it is to capture stable camera on these paddleboards, or on any paddleboards, because you guys, you might not know this, but you are currently an action camera on a really long selfie stick to a little mini tripod with some dive weights on it. So any little movement and everything goes a bit wobbly. So what's weird about this atoll is it used to have about 25 people living on it. And then 8 years ago in 2017, and I don't know why, we've tried to figure it out, we don't know, pretty much everyone left. Which means this atoll is covered in these ghost properties. They're either kind of corrugated iron shacks or little stone-built houses, and it's like they just up and left. They left everything, just all sorts of stuff scattered across the island. So we've been desperate to go hunting and see if we can figure out why they left and a bit more about how they lived here, because we're in the middle of nowhere.
I'm starting to get a theory on this. There's a big window frame or something, just like a shipwreck in the sea. So maybe there was a huge cyclone that came and ripped everybody's houses apart, and that's where they left.
Well, that's an optimistic picture. Turtle.
Turtle?
Well, name's in the shark.
What? Little baby turtle?
Hey, buddy.
So I can see that shack in the distance. Do you want to head over there?
That's a good shot. Because, yeah, I've not seen anyone moving around there. So let's find out. So I know we tried to capture this in the drone the other day, and we've explained it a bunch of times before, but we are in an atoll, which is a ring of islands in the middle of the ocean. So right now it is perfect paddleboarding conditions because it's only like a foot deep underneath us. But just on the other side of these trees, it's 5,000 meters deep. So I'm quite happy we're in here and there's no waves whatsoever, but in the background we can hear the Pacific Ocean roaring. And we're just cruising along here in paradise.
Yeah, there aren't any waves in here, but there is still a little bit of wind coming over these palm trees, so we are fighting it slightly. But luckily, these suckers are electrical! Yeah, if you've been looking carefully, you might have noticed that we have this little grey box on the end of our paddles. This is a remote control for a completely flush-mounted jet motor. Inside the battery compartment that we dropped into the hole in the middle, there is a jet motor controlled by here, 3 speeds. Let's go.
Yeah, so when we spoke to the guys at SIPA and they said they'd come up with an electric powerboard, Ooh, they should call it that, an electric e-sub, the world's first. I quite like electrical things. And so we were like, we have to have those. And yeah, it's like in this little box in the middle that was the thing that inflated the boards. It's a jet engine. I mean, I know you'll have heard the term before, gin clear, but the water here is just wildly clear. We can watch the fish from like 20 meters away and see them running toward the coral heads to hide out. It is incredible.
I'm having too much fun! I don't need to paddle! I don't even need to stand up if I don't want to!
Can't win. There's no winning. This is what I love.
Alright, too much mucking around, we're gonna get serious. Do you want to race to the shack I can see over there?
I think it is imperative that we race.
Now, Ian does have an advantage because he has the slightly zippier board. Mine is like super stable, so you can laugh at me if I fall in.
That's the shack we're aiming for. What's the finish line? Hitting the shore?
No, just passing it in front.
Okay. Ready?
No!
3, 2,
Ah!
1.
Go!
Not this far. That didn't start on time.
Come on!
After this one.
Yes, I'm paddling as well. I'm giving it all I've got. Going away.
Say it.
You won.
All right. I think we have reached shore. It's official. Time for shoes. Puppy? How'd you get here?
Oh my goodness. So if everybody left 8 years ago, this poor guy just been surviving on his own.
I guess so. We must love coconuts. Or hermit crabs. Come on then, let's go to shore. We'll go for a walk.
Let's go, let's go.
Come on. Okay, so as we said, although you might not have heard on the boards, this atoll used to have 25 people living at it. And then some reason, we don't know why, they just vanished. They all disappeared and went to live elsewhere. Clearly, they left behind their little puppy friend here, who is the friendliest dog we've ever seen. I'm slightly concerned that we might end up having a boat dog, particularly if that carries on. Hello.
So we have seen sometimes on atolls or small islands where there is a dog and the cruisers who come by just kind of take turns at fostering the dog. So they come to the beach every day, they feed it, they check that they're all right. Sometimes they've even gone to the nearest village to get medication for the dog, and then they leave and entrust the dog's care to the next sailors to arrive. So I'm not promising that we'll take the puppy with us, but I'm incredibly tempted. Listen, look at this face! See, you're just as excited as I am about the puppy.
I mean, I have been the one in the past to suggest that a boat dog would be fun, but the way we travel, it would be pretty much impossible, or we'd need to own a bank.
Yeah.
Because like moving pets, particularly bigger dogs, bigger pets like dogs, from country to country, it's not just as simple as like, yeah, we have a dog. It's like passports and vaccines and quarantines in particular. Lot. And yet you survive quite happily here, don't you?
All right, back to the mission we set out for.
Let's
explore.
What is this? This is like someone's perfect tropical retreat.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's like all up on stilts with this hammock underneath. It's perfect.
Maybe we're wrong. Maybe there are people who live here. Let's find out.
Hello. Just don't fall through the steps.
They are quite wobbly. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Well, you're not going to fall that far.
Lock. No way. I mean, this actually is someone's island retreat. They got a little window up there, a door, I guess, that they can jump out if they're in a hurry, and then, yeah, crash out, enjoy the breeze. What a cool spot.
What I love is that you can see that everything here has been made with what they found on the island. So, like, all the main pillars are just big tree trunks, and they've got, like, fishing rope and fishing nets to create sunshades and hammocks and stuff. That's brilliant.
Could probably do a little bit with the access.
It's just like extra security so that, you know, no one just stumbles in and finds it, comes in off the street.
Or the paddleboard.
Oh, massive spider web here. Nearly walked right through it.
Excellent.
I'm going to go this way.
So I should probably do a quick shout out to all of our Australian followers at this point, because every time we do these brownie hikes, there's spider webs, and every time you guys get palpitations. You're like, why are you taking a stick and waving it in front of you? You should be looking out for funnel webs. The weird thing about this part of the world is that basically nothing wants to kill you. I know that's a foreign concept to you guys down in Oz, but I bet the only thing that wants to do any harm is a coconut crab if we decide to attack it. So we're fairly safe walking through these tiny little spiders. They don't seem to care much.
So sometimes we find things that, like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Someone's made a hammock out of a fishing net. Of course, that's what you would do. And sometimes we find a massive truck.
What?
Who needs a truck on an island this size?
There's a truck? There's no roads.
There's a quad bike as well. You can get in around the other side. Let's go sit on it and go vroom vroom.
Puppy into it.
Yep. So do you think that, like, that room that we looked at was the house, and then this massive thing is the garage because someone was just, like, really into their vehicles?
It starts to look like it because it is 3 times the size.
Forgot my spider stick. Now I'm armed and ready.
Check it out. The guttering is held up by trees.
Oh, wow.
Literally, it's tied off from a rafter round to a pole. And then to support it at the midway point, they just found a fork and a branch. That'll do.
That's brilliant.
I highly approve. And the puppy's getting a drink. That's nice. Remember to look both ways.
Is this the road?
This is the main road through town, I guess.
Oh, clearly. I love it that we're thinking 8 years ago, like, there were so many more people here on this island, but there were still only like 25 people, and it is quite a long motu. So when the jungle is this thick, I suppose you would still feel like you had quite a lot of space for yourself.
It's wild. I mean, think about it. 8 years ago, we both had real jobs.
Oh, remember those days?
Clearly, they used to do a lot of farming here because there are coconuts all over the ground.
Yeah, that totally reminded me of, like, the only thing I know about this place.
Oh?
Which was that they did farm coconuts here, and they would farm the copra out of it, which is used in, like, the cosmetics industry and stuff. I think it's the fibers that come out of the husk. Anyway, once everybody on the island had collected enough to fill a container ship, then a container ship would come, but they would bring all of the supplies to the island and then take away the copra. And so they might go like 2 years before having a supply ship because they had to earn their supplies by collecting enough coconuts. And as the numbers on the island dwindle, the supply ships get further and further apart. So I don't think there's been a supply ship here for 4 years.
Whoa. I mean, that is one aspect to think about. If there's not enough people here, although there is this crazy abundance of coconuts, so it's not like they don't have the raw materials to do it, they just didn't have the manpower. That's wild.
So if you're looking for like a different kind of career, you could come live here. There's plenty of abandoned houses and you can just help farm the coconuts and get the supply ships in sooner.
You say help, you can be the only one farming the coconuts and getting supply ships here.
Yeah, you might want to bring a few friends.
So we've had a bit of an idea. We've been walking along this road now for a while, and we haven't really seen any more shacks and ruins around. But clearly people were able to live here once upon a time. So we thought we'd try it. We're thinking we might attempt our own little version of Survivor, I suppose. I'm not sure if you want to go as far as Naked and Afraid.
I'm absolutely not going as far as Naked and Afraid. I'm really not that convinced that we can do it, but I like the idea of trying. Sleeping in a hut on a beach, getting eaten by crabs.
Yeah, coconut crabs in the middle of the night.
Oh, that's so nippy.
They're very nippy, very aggressive crabs.
I'm regretting this already, and we've only just had the idea.
But I think we should try it. I think we should head back, get some basic supplies together, and see if we can survive a night on the island.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, we have come back, we have loaded up, and we've decided that we're going to try and spend the night over there. There is a small shack, building, lean-to, whatever you might call it, on the beach just over there. And so, yeah, we're gonna try and spend the night there. It's not too far away, so if anything goes wrong, we can paddle back in a panic, which, you know, knowing us is what's gonna happen. And all we've got with us, well, we have got some basics for fire and things. Our main item, our one luxury, I would say, is our Gumby's dry robes.
I'm not going anywhere without this. I'm going to be so cold.
This is going to be our duvet blanket situation. It's going to be our huddle for warmth if everything gets chilly after the fire goes out, because it will go out. And yeah, it's our survival blankets, basically. And then, yeah, can we do this? Can we survive?
Absolutely not, but it'll be funny to try.
If you don't see me by sunrise, something went wrong.
Okay, I really need to catch up. I am going to take the bucket of scary tools and the machete. Hopefully I don't pop the board. Better catch up, let's go. So the first job is to set up our campfire. So we're going to go and collect a whole ton of wood. We have so far just got a whole bunch of palm leaves, which are really good for starting a fire, because they burn very quickly, but the problem is they burn very quickly, so they run out. So we also do need to find a lot more kind of twigs and proper actual trees that will burn for longer, and then we can settle in and start our evening. We have already got our little doggy friend with us. Okay, the sun has now set, so it is officially nighttime. We are doing nighttime on the beach. We have got the fire going. We have got our friendly little puppy just having a nap here by the fireside, and I thought I would just give you a little tour around of our amazing space that is going to be home for the night. So you just have to climb over all of the hermit crabs along the way.
Army of hermit crabs taking over this beach.
I'm slightly scared of where I'm going to step. However, this is our shack. Now it is pretty fancy because it has 2 whole rooms. It has got a bedroom through in the back, which is like just a raised sheet of wood. At least it's raised, so we're not directly on the ground sleeping with all the hermit crabs. I'm telling myself that we didn't see them all in the trees when we arrived, and therefore I'm pretending they can't climb up. It looks wonderful, incredibly comfy.
We're gonna die.
We're absolutely gonna die. I don't even want to sit on it. And then outside here is our entertaining area. So we've got a lovely dining table, a little bench. We've got our Gumby's dry robes just ready to keep us cozy and warm.
Yes, so if any of you wish to drop by for the evening soiree, bring your own booze. It's BYOB for sure. And bring your own back cushion and seat cushion. And actually your own seat, because there's only space for 2, maybe 3 people on this bench.
We're so welcoming.
I did say you're welcome to join us, BYOB.
Oh, you did, that's true. You also need to bring your own food because the dog will have eaten all the tuna by the time you get here.
It's a good point. We should keep an eye on that.
One last feature. Now, I think this is just the leftover laundry from when whoever lived here departed suddenly. However, I like to think of it as a privacy screen or a morning sunshade. So when the sun rises
yeah, nice.
and that sunlight is getting in our eyes and we don't want to wake up yet because we're having such glorious sleep here, then we can just drag this across and inside will be perfectly pleasant.
Okay.
So positive thinking, be optimistic, it's going to be wonderful, we're not going to die. Fire's looking good.
It's coming together, yeah. We're just going to get a nice bed of embers and then figure out how to cook food.
Yay!
Hopefully the coconut that I hacked open hasn't been taken over by crabs, or one giant coconut crab hasn't tucked
I know,
into
right?
it. Or the dog. Where's the dog?
Ah, the dog's around somewhere, sleeping peacefully.
It was very happy when I gave it the lid of the coconut to chew on.
Yeah. So if we were doing Survivor properly, we would have gone out and caught a fish earlier, but we ran out of time, so I just brought some tuna that we had on the boat.
I mean, that works. It's still technically wild caught tuna.
Yeah, still technically, but it needs to cook first, doggy. So yeah, I'm just gonna, again, we're not like using a vine leaf or a banana leaf to wrap it and cook it in, but I think tin foil's allowed if you're just doing it for one night.
Yeah, it's the
No!
millennial banana leaf. Look at the little bottom jiggling out. That's a happy puppy.
So our tuna steaks are ready. The dog, I think, was more excited about them than we were, so we tried to distract it with half a tuna steak, but it hasn't really worked.
I think it may have infuriated?
Yeah.
Awoken the dog. The dog is like running in circles that are so tight, if it had a tail, it would already be eating all the way to the base. Maybe that's how it lost its tail.
Oh, maybe just pure excitement. We tried eating in our dining area, our posh guest reception space. But,
Reception area 1.
Dog just followed us there as well. So we've come back to the beach, our beautifully presented lemon and herb tuna steaks in a wrap because we don't have plates. So
We're roughing it. We're survivors. This is how you do it.
surviving. Bon appetit.
Think.
All right, it is 9 p.m. We are fed. The dog is fed. There is no more getting around it. We have to go and try and sleep in our lovely new home for the night.
Gumby jackets on. We can just wrap up nice and warm.
Yeah, nice and warm, I have no doubt.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Now to figure out if our little life of luxury is going to work out for us. There's an extra kind of crab. That's fun.
Ooh, that is a fun one. So what we're learning is all of the animals on this island call this place home. And here we are, sleeping bag of the moment. It does look incredibly cozy.
Ready made.
Perfect.
Cozy night in.
You're gonna be so warm, sleep so well.
I hope so. I mean, yeah, I can still hear the crabs crawling around.
See, everybody laughed at us when we got these, but they were like, oh, why would you need to be that warm when you live in the tropics? But it's because we do stupid stuff like this.
It's very, very true. Why do we do stupid stuff like this, Brenny?
I'm not even sure whose idea it was in the first place.
Stupid idea.
She says, hoping that you don't remember it was hers. I'm nervous to get on it.
I'm so genuinely scared this is just going to collapse. All right.
It's vaguely holding our weight.
I'm just in the corner. I'm going to stay to the edge.
There's a spider on it.
Where?
Here.
Encourage it away. Night.
Sleep well.
Don't move much.
The crabs won, bugs won, scary noises in the dark won. I need my home and my boat and my creature comforts.
Time for the final reveal. I just have to press 2 buttons on here.
Da 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 da!
They have underwater lights.
Yeah, they do. We can find our way home. Don't leave me behind.
Every man for themselves. All right, so while that's in and cooking, I think we should do a cribs.
Okay, yes, welcome into our humble abode.
Is that how they open cribs? Surely cribs is more like, yo mamo.
Yeah, all right, take it away.
Take it away.
In it.